Hello, school counselors. I hope everyone's doing well. I am here to present a webinar on impacting futures, all about historically Black colleges and universities, or HBCUs. My name is Monique Edwards Santiago, and I'm a high school counselor at Dutchtown High School. I did attend an HBCU, Clark Atlanta University. I graduated in 2002 with my master's in school counseling. I'm also in school right now getting my EDS at the University of Alabama with the anticipation completion date of summer 2025. Yay, can't wait. So again, I currently serve high school students at Dutchtown High School in Henry County, Georgia. So let's jump right into this. So what are HBCUs? So HBCUs identify as historically Black colleges and universities, and they are basically institutions of higher education and learning in the United States that were established before the Civil Rights Act to primarily serve African Americans. This term was basically created by the Higher Education Act of 1965. And again, it was primarily established to serve our African American students and our African American culture. So here you have a basic timeline of the HBCU history. And as you see, it stems way back to 1837, starting with the nation's first and oldest HBCU, which is Cheyney University, which is in Cheyney, Pennsylvania. It was first established in 1837, and the timeline goes all the way from 1837 to 1856 to the first and Black-owned operated HBCU, which is Wilberforce, all the way down to 1965, which is when HBCUs were first officially designated by the U.S. Department of Education. And then we go all the way to 2020, and there's basically a really big timeline here in 2020. Goes into Morehouse College, which is located in the great Atlanta, Georgia, where they have the first polo team was established. Then we go to also in 2020, the first HBCU history course was established at Virginia State University, down to 2020 to Fisk University, where they have the first gymnastics all women's program, and they were the first to compete on the NCAA level, which is actually a wonderful thing to have an all Black African American women's gymnastics team to compete on the NCAA level. How great is that? So what are the benefits of attending an HBCU? We all know that there are just tons of HBCUs out there. Some are very well known, such as Hampton, Howard, Spelman, just the well-known ones, FAMU. But what are some of the benefits? As school counselors, we are often talking to our students about post-secondary options, such as colleges, and we sometimes have to throw in there some HBCUs and PWIs, depending on the populations that you're working with. Myself, I work at a predominantly African American high school, but I do have some students that actually are looking at PWIs that are African American. And I do have some that are still kind of on the fence about whether they want to attend a PWI or an HBCU. So for me, I have to kind of throw in there a little bit of the benefits of both. So, and because I did attend an HBCU as a master's student, and then I did attend an PWI as an undergrad, I kind of have had the best of both worlds. So I think I'm kind of at an advantage to talk about the advantages of both. So let's kind of dive into what are the benefits of attending an HBCU. So some would say there's a first rate of education for colleges and universities such as Hampton, Howard, Morehouse, and Spelman. Those are very well known around the nation as being some of the top HBCUs around the world. And they have a very long and illustrious history of education. As some of you know, Angelina Jolie's daughter, she's at Spelman. She just went over as an AKA. So again, Spelman has a very long list of providing a great and illustrious education for some of the great women of African American culture. And of course, the education does extend beyond the African American community. to people of all cultures. So, even though HBCUs were made to service African Americans, we're finding that more people of different cultures and more diversity are attending HBCUs to get that first rate education. Number two, caring professors and faculty. So we have some HBCUs that are not as large as PWIs. And so some of our African American students say that they don't feel like they're just a number, that they find that the professors are more caring, they're more empathetic, and they still get that one-on-one and that warm and fuzziness from their professors and faculty when they attend an HBCU, especially ones on the smaller caliber. So the classes and extracurricular and activities tailored to Black culture. So at a PWI, you may not find those classes that are tailored specifically to African American culture to help feel a little bit more appreciated of the African American history. So some of the PWIs may not offer those specific classes that you would find at an HBCU. So number four, a more supportive atmosphere. So at an HBCU, of course, at every college, you're going to find, students, you may encounter students that are of the same culture, some from similar backgrounds, some from different backgrounds. But either way, you're going to find students and encounter students in situations that are going to broaden your horizons and your worldviews, that are going to make you think outside of the box. And this is going to give you such a clear understanding and a sense of community and life and just relationship building with other cultures and community and your college life and your professors. And it also gives you a sense of, again, developing, a sense of relationship building with other diverse people. So again, even though the HBCUs were built to service African American cultures with other diverse populations coming to HBCUs, you're forming relationships with other cultures. Number five is diversity. In 2016, we found that 5.1 Hispanics were enrolled in HBCUs, 11.4 enrollments were white, and 9.7 were other backgrounds, and 2.5 were international students. So we are finding that more cultures and HBCUs are becoming more diverse. And that's a wonderful thing, because it says that HBCUs are expanding their educational values and are providing their education to a more diverse population, which is absolutely amazing. Empowerment. So HBCUs were established to increase that African American history and culture and awareness to our ethnic groups. But students attending HBCUs have found that by attending historically Black colleges and universities, that they feel more empowered, knowing that they're taking advantage of their rights. And these colleges were built to enhance their confidence. So they're making these connections with their own cultures and their own diverse populations, so that they feel they're going to be successful in life and make those great connections that they need upon graduation. So number seven is a chance to continue the legacy. I, for one, am a legacy of Clark Atlanta University. My brother went to Clark, and my mother graduated from Clark. So I do feel a sense of connection at Clark Atlanta University. And when you have that family tradition, it can be very important. And I also feel a sense when you attend a school that you have a family legacy, you have that connection and that sense of that connection to your alma mater. So it also gives you a sense of having that connection for alumni. So I do feel, as an alma mater or an alumni of Clark Atlanta, that legacy is very important. Alumni associations for all graduates of all HBCUs. Alumni associations can be very, very important for networking. I can say for me, I have had alumni associations come back and for maybe HBCU fairs at my job, and just making those professional connections with alumni associations can be very important. Scholarships and grant. There are plenty and a plethora of scholarships and grants granted by HBCUs. So, and sometimes they do tend to be less expensive than PWIs. So if you're looking for a college for your students, please suggest HBCUs. So like I said, You can get tons of money through HBCUs, and they're often willing to, grant your students scholarships and grants if they're just willing to put in the work and write the essays and do lots of other things to get those scholarships. You'll be in good company. HBCUs have produced some really, really big names. Once I tell my kids that, my students at my school, they're just like, what? They did? So-and-so went there? You wouldn't believe how astonished and how shocked the young people are once they find out that there were some really big Hollywood names, some authors and publishers, and some really great community leaders that have graduated from HBCUs and that have made some really have really made a big impact in our world and our nation once they find out who these big names are. So who are these big names that have attended and graduated from HBCUs? Let's take a look. So our very own Vice President Kamala Harris, she graduated from Howard University. Actor Samuel L. Jackson, he graduated from Morehouse. Lionel Richie, Tuskegee University. Singer Gladys Knight, she went to Shaw and graduated from Shaw University. Great NFL Hall of Famer and San Francisco 49er, Jerry Rice. He graduated from Mississippi Valley State University. And we all know Michael Strahan. He's our former NFL Hall of Famer and New York Giant, and of course, GMA host. He graduated from Texas Southern University. So we have some very influential people that have attended and graduated from HBCUs. And again, these are just a few of the great ones that have graduated from HBCUs that have made, have impacted our nation and have left some very, very great footsteps. So how do you talk to your students about HBCUs, and how do you incorporate HBCUs in the school counselor role? So you show and share with students the various college opportunities to them. You explain the differences between HBCUs and PWIs. When discussing post-secondary plans, you make sure that you incorporate the HBCUs to match the fit and conversation. So basically remind them to keep their options open, have them tell you where they want to go, what they're looking for, what are their majors. You showcase staff members who have attended both HBCUs, do a college and career day, talk to your staff members and ask them where they went, have the staff members and the teachers do some kind of college day in their room. Hold HBCU events, have some of the HBCUs come and do lunch visits at your school, do college fairs. All of these events broaden their horizons and actually make them think outside the box about HBCUs. Do apply to college workshops at your school. All of these can be very influential in helping your students make up their minds about attending an HBCU. So also on College Board, there are so many big future resources for African American students. So you have a Common Black application, and this is a great resource, and it encompasses all of the HBCUs. All the students have to do is create an account, and the counselors have to submit their transcripts. The students have to submit their SAT scores, but it's a great way for them to apply to the historically Black colleges and universities. You have Real Talk, which is a career and college planning guide, which is designated to connect the Black students with families with Black professionals. And then you have the National Recognition Program, which is a great way to recognize our academic achievements of our African American, Hispanic, and Latino, Native American, and our diverse students. So I hope that this has been a very informational session for you. And again, with our HBCUs, they are wonderful, wonderful schools, and they can be very, very influential to our African American, Latino, and our other diverse populations. So again, I hope this has been helpful and been very informational for you. Again, my name is Monique Edwards Santiago. I'm a counselor at Dutchtown High School in Henry County, Georgia, and thank you for watching.
Did you find this content for counselors useful? Make sure you check out our YouTube channel and our website at collegeboard.org/counselors to find tons of resources and videos designed specifically for high school counselors.